Welcome back to the CH Wine Tasting Room, everyone. I'm Chris Lafleur, friendly neighborhood sommelier, and we're going to be tasting Lot 915, a GSM blend from California. It's from 2021, so it's still fairly youthful, but it's got just enough development to give you a nice little sparkle as you're tasting. So let's have a look at it. I think it's too much to not tell you about what we have here. This is Grenache and Syrah Mourvèdre, for those of you that are not familiar with the GSM blend. And this is usually something you see in the south of France, usually in the southern Rhone region. Some of the great ones would be Gigondas, Vacquereys, and Châteauneuf-du-Pape. But what we're talking about here are grapes that handle the heat of the southern Rhone really well. So here we are in California. I don't know about you guys, I'm from Canada, feels pretty warm here to me. So I think these are gonna be the grapes that match this climate and give it a little bit of balance. One of the things I love about a wine in this climate is that if you have grapes that adapt to it really well, you maintain acidity, which also translates to maintaining freshness, raciness, electricity on the palate. Let's look at it and I promise we'll taste it real soon. So you can see this is a semi-opaque wine. If I put my hand underneath of it, I can still see it, but it's a little bit fuzzy. Now it's not completely opaque because I can see through, and it's not completely clear. So we're riding that middle, which is kind of where we want to be when you want to ride the tension of this wine. On the nose, it's incredible. I have to tell you about it, and that's the only reason I will, because I want to just sit here and smell this on my own. But I'm getting a lot of red fruit, I'm getting raspberries, I'm getting like bramble, crunchy fruits here. I think I'm getting a touch of apple and plum, but also a great note of rhubarb, which is really cool. I'm also getting a slight lavender hint, and that to me says that we're dealing with proper Grenache. Grenache usually is defined by notes of garrigue, and some people will say it's because in the south of France, you got a lot of scrubby bushes that give you lavender notes in the final wine. But I think this is also a key to showing that Grenache just has this character unto itself, because I'm getting it here with maybe a touch of rosemary. It's great, very well balanced. With Syrah and Mourvèdre, I normally expect a little more pepper, but this is really Grenache dominated, and you can feel it when you smell it. Let's taste it. I'm not gonna tease you any longer, I promise. There we go. I'm only spitting because you're watching. I have other things to do today. But wow, that's really good. It feels crunchy on the palate, that red fruit character really coming through. I'm also getting a lot more fennel and anise than I did before on the nose, and it feels wonderful on the finish. I'm getting some tannins here, likely from the Mourvèdre and the Syrah. So they're I would say medium. They're not overpowering, but they're nice and coarse, a little chunky. And I've also got a little bit of that lavender rosemary note that we want when we're talking about a garrigue-driven wine like Grenache, Syrah, Mourvèdres. So I mean, that's incredible to me, and I think you're gonna find it good as well. But let's talk about where it belongs in your cellar. I think this is showing really well right now, and I think it can age for a little bit. So let's say 3 to 5 years for a wine like this one, even though I think it'll last well past that. I think if you're gonna put this with any kind of food, you wanna put it with something weighty as well, but also perfumed a little bit. So let's say some pork tenderloin with some rosemary to go alongside it for some spice, to give it some lift, some air. And that's gonna meld really seamlessly. The tannins here, like I said, are just enough that it's gonna offset the richness of that tenderloin. Oh, I can't stop talking about this wine, it's incredible. But I think that's enough to sell you on it. So I'm gonna stay here with this bottle, and I will see you at the next glass.